play for RA. 2 years. And we said, we joked about maybe his aura has to be there for RA to do well, but it's not quite the case when he's playing for the opposite side and he wants RA's demise. Talking about RA and making it easy for themselves, the Leona is going to land in Jwei's hands, one of the strongest champions in terms of engaging and taking control through the bot side of the map.
So, NIP, game number 1 of the series, they played this kind of counter matchup to a hard engage composition, but perhaps looking to repeat what they did in game number 2 instead. With the Misfortune first pick here, it was all about aggressive laning, about finding leads and snowballing towards a victory. Looking to try and repeat a similar performance here.
Yeah, taking the Misfortune away from the combo with the Leona as well. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Assum locks in something like the Ziggs. Again, a great pairing together with that Leona. However, knowing what NIP did in game number 2, it might not necessarily be the best choice because they never gave them a 2 versus 2 lane down the bot lane. So the Ziggs, Leona would never play together. It's going to be the case right here. RA are more than willing to move around the map right now. They do have an Ezreal down the bot lane. A lot of self-agency in terms of peeling and being safe, being left alone down the bot side of the map. So RA, at least, still they're making it very easy for themselves to play. They've got a lot of engage with the Sejuani and the Leona. However, now they don't have to play the 2 versus 2.
A little surprised to see NIP not prioritizing grabbing a jungler here for Lien, considering how Lien got his MVP, how that early game went against Xiaohao. He was on the Zyra, and he was kind of running Xiaohao around the map on that Sejuani. Well, the Zyra was banned, his Nidalee is banned, now Akarthus is banned. Lien having everything banned away from him because, you know, NIP already banned that Lilia as well. I wonder what he's going to end up going for, what he's comfortable on at this point, because, you know, we've not got that much tape from him on this meta, you know, like, it's still fairly new, so we'll see in what direction they go. Brand obviously still available, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see RA ban that.
I was thinking maybe even something like the Ivern to take it away.
True.
No, don't take it away from RA, but it's something that RA are used to playing. I feel TN and Xiaohao have played the most Ivern in the LPL so far. So now they're gonna bundle Lucian away, Brand up, Ivern up as well. They wanna go for it. They might even look for the jungler right here and give the counter pick over to Rookie as a last R5.
What are NIP gonna do? Only time will tell. And the jungle pick probably going to dictate what else comes through in that mid lane. A Diana would be exciting. We've yet to really see that succeed particularly, and the Brand does come on through instead for Lien. I was cautiously excited for a rookie Yasuo there when I saw the Diana hover. It's not going to happen.
The Yasuo, the Yone, both very, very good with the Diana as well. RA, they're looking for a full wombo combo team fight. Talking about the Yone, I wouldn't actually mind seeing this, seeing as Rookie plays a lot of 80 carries in that mid lane. He's looking potentially towards, again, Tristana, Corki, or the Zeri that he's played previously. However, this is a very heavy wombo combo composition right here for RA. You do have a lot of agency in terms of which lanes you want to play for as well. You've got the Yone with the Sejuani. You've got Leona roaming around the map. NIP need to make sure they pick a mid lane pick that has a lot of self-agency. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing things like Tristana or the Zeri trying to get away from danger. Is going to be legendary Tristana for Rookie.
It's a tough matchup for the Tristana, but it's Rookie's Tristana, so it's always something to be feared. Certainly will get prio in those first few levels. And I mean, just aggressive lanes locked in for NIP across the board here to set up for Lien on this carry jungle. It worked fantastically for them in game number 2. It's a bit of a different composition, but still should have power, still should have the ways to take control of the map early on. And RA, though, some big power picks of their own. I mean, Xiaoxu on this Kennen, I'd love to see him having a big impact in these team fights.
I wouldn't be surprised to see NIP here actually play 1-3-1 and play through side lanes with Tristana and Renekton and try to completely avoid the wombo combo composition that RA have drafted for themselves around skirmishes, around neutral objectives. NIP pulled RA around the map in game number 2. Can they now do it again to avoid those very, very deathly team fights?
That'll be the question. NIP in game 2, bit of a macro masterclass with the way that they played the map. And you can expect that that's exactly their plan coming into game number 3 as well. It feels like that is the strength for NIP. It went away for a little while, but that's what we saw in spring as well. RA against the ropes. This is their chance to prove that they deserve to be here. They dominated in Group Nirvana, and now in their 3rd game and potentially their final game, unless they can show everyone that they belong in playoffs, that they belong to have this extra chance, or that they deserve to have this extra chance, sorry. We're at them, up against the Ninjas in Pyjamas with one last shot at making it to playoffs. I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised about the amount of support RA are getting in the arena. Like, not a team that's got particularly famous players among that roster. NIP, unsurprising how much support that they have. Zhuo does get his recall denied there, so we'll be slightly late on moving towards the bottom side.
That is huge. The minions have already spawned. And Zhuo is stuck towards the top side of the map. Has to take the safe route as well. They do not know what's going on inside the jungle. I don't know if they have intel right now. So Zhuo taking the long way around towards that bot side of the map. He's running the exhaust as well, especially when you're playing against a cannon and you don't really have easy ways of pushing him out. Of course, Rookie can very easily just reposition the cannon with a buster shot, his ultimate. Right here, you will see that the bot lane of RA will definitely have control for the early levels, as they are the first ones to take control of that bot side of the map, get that early level 2, and try to pressure NIP underneath the tower, which will be a very good start to begin with in game number 3, seeing as a lot of the early game shenanigans have gone NIP's way.
Has felt like, or at least in game number 2, NIP were absolutely in control of the early game. Level 1 all in from Jwei there. Not sure if he was under the impression they were about to hit 2 or something, but either way, it worked beautifully and really punishing Photic for stepping up towards the wave, just denying as much XP as possible. Is Photic actually going to commit to the recall here? No, okay, he does cancel. I was going to say he's going to miss a lot of minions if he does.
I'm kind of a little bit sad that we see Sejuani pathing towards the other side of the map. Of course, being wary of Brand invading your jungle, you need to make sure that you get your first clear through with Sejuani. And if you do end up doing one quadrant into the bot lane and you show up, you're most likely going to be losing a lot of your jungle camps, especially to hardcore farming junglers like the Brand, like the Lilia, the Zyra that we've been seeing a lot. Leon sporting on the Rift. It's going to go up top side of the map. Make sure that he protects Xiaoxu, putting down a ward on that tri-bush, making sure that he's safe to push for the time being. However, Leon, well, we talked about the early invades. He's looking for topside though.
The ward is not going to spot him. The ward is in tri-brush and Lien is moving up the river. He's going to get into this lane. Shanji can set up the stun, denies the initial engage here. Flash from Xiaoxu, looking for the Seer. The stun into stun, comes on through. The burn is there, but it's not quite enough damage onto Xiaoxu. Lien looks to finish the job with the red buff, and there's first blood. Xiaohao now gets the burn onto himself, but there's only 300 health between the two NIP players, but Shanji jumps in against the heal. Lien flashes the flail, and it's 2 for NIP.
Incredible gang towards the top side, and how well played with the flashes as well. Shanji and Lien completely shut down the top side of the map. Lien with a 700 gold lead now in his pocket as well. Beautifully done. Dodging the vision into playing that so well, doesn't throw out his spells until Shanji flashes for the W as well. Well played from NIP to get some control in that early game.
Rookie has to jump away as Jwei threatens in the mid lane, but he'll be okay. And let's take another look, because this was beautiful from Lien and from Shanji. Xiaoxu did his best to try and escape Shanji with the flash stun. The follow-up there from Lien, but then it's as Xiaohao comes in, Lien just ignores him completely.
I feel like if Xiaohao had stuck onto Lien, this would have been trouble. Lien was tanking an entire wave of creeps, plus you had Xiaoxu turning the damage onto him. That flash beautiful to get out of danger right there. That would have been his death, absolutely. And the Q as well, not committed earlier on from Lian, making sure that the W lands in from Shanji first, to then ensure that the Q lands from the brand as well. Very, very well played.
Really, really nice stuff from Lian there. Saves his cooldowns as he finishes off Xiaoxu, and I mean, beautiful. And I just want to quickly mention, Lucian was banned away by RA. They could have banned 2 carry junglers, they banned the Karthus, and they banned the Lucian. Lian got that brand because it wasn't banned away, and now already 1-0-1, already with the Fated Ashes and Boots as well. I mean, it's a phenomenal start. It's all you could possibly ask for. Lian is so far ahead.
I mean, to be fair, as he's looking for the top lane again. Oh, bot lane.
Bit of damage onto Photic here. Jwei really forcing it, and Assum happy to follow up. Nice pressure in the bottom lane, honestly, from RA. In a draft that we said, you know, NIP were drafting for lane dominance. It has been all about Assum and Jwei down in the bottom side.
Yeah, it started with that level 1, right? Xiaoxu cancelling the back of Zhuo. Zhuo being extremely late onto that lane. Photic leashing as well for Lian to get him a little bit further ahead, since they couldn't get control down the bot lane of the map. And I feel like NIP have been weighing their situations very, very well from the very early game. They understand how to play that early game to sort of like equalize bad situations. Against Zhuo not being able to be down bot lane, they're like, okay, let's at least get Lian ahead, which is why Photic leashed for his jungler. Therefore, Lian was even faster than the brand is in clearing his jungle. And even though that bot lane has been struggling, having a brand which is 1,000 gold up 6 minutes in, I think it's worth for Misfortune to fall slightly behind.
Oh, definitely. Misfortune is still going to be relevant later on. Rookie dead even in the mid lane as well. I mean, these 80 carries are going to take a little while before they're really in the game, but it's a 1,000 gold lead is a nice buffer for NIP just to start things off with. And those first 3 grubs as well. Next ones will come up in 3 minutes time, and I definitely think there's real potential for that to be a moment of contention. But RA at least did grab themselves that Drake off the back of the early shenanigans in the top side. Good stuff from RA to play opposite to that. Zhuo just gonna hold this minion wave as long as he can, and Rookie will finally arrive and clear that one up. So nice bit of support play from Troll. Yeah, really solid.
Just wonder if he was
Sorry, go
I wonder if he was gonna wait to take the cannon as well. He had one more charge on his support item right there, and there was a cannon. However, he's gonna give the full experience over to Rookie. He's gonna head down both side of the map, and we've slowed down for now. They're looking for potential opportunities. 3.5 until next dragon. We've got 2.5 for the second set of void grabs as well. 3 of them have gone to NIP, so yeah, I'm expecting to actually see RA try to contest. However, they will need the entire cavalry towards the top side of the map, because this brand actually already hurts quite a bit, so you're gonna need every single man possible.
And I think a huge difference maker in this game compared to game number 2 is what's happening in the mid lane, right? Game number 2, we saw, the stun lands, that's the passive. Vicla's going to have to jump back into the mix here. Rookie has an opportunity to get damage down, and in the meantime, Xiaohao caught ulted against the wall here. He's low. Can he escape? No, Rookie grabs the kill as Jwei has just jumped in as well. He's not tanky at this point, but flashes to safety nonetheless. Now assuming a 1v1 with Photic, he wants to be the difference maker. Photic caught in the bottom side of the map, but Assum! Oh, he goes wide on the Mystic shot, and it's a 1-for-1.
The AD carries catching some action. Since the action has run away from them, they're catching the action themselves. They're creating the action, both burning their flashes, both trading 1-for-1. However, mid lane.
Stun onto Vicla, Magnet Storm as well. Rookie looks to finish the job, puts the shot on cooldown. And Vicla will just about survive here to finish off the minion wave. I say that, he gets one, he gets one. At least he got some XP. My goodness, NIP managing to find everything. The fact that they go even bot as well.
Lian just waiting in fog of war, but look at top lane. You already have Shanji hovering towards that mid lane, ready for the fight. Once the Trucial Barrage lands, there is no damage. I feel like Xiaohao falls a little bit too far forward right there. You're playing a Sejuani, and your damage dealer is nowhere near, and he's also melee. He doesn't find an easy way to get back in. That is just the AD getting bored, I feel like, down the bot lane. It's like, screw it. It's our time now.
God, that's just so rough. I mean, Assum just really whiffing that one. That was a 1-1v1, but Photic just outplays him, sidesteps the Q, manages to make it even in the end. And to be honest, with how one-sided the top side is, that's kind of disastrous for Assum that Photic gets some gold. Photic was the one that was starting to be squeezed out of this game from the side of RA, right? They've managed to focus on one role only. And suddenly that role gets an injection of gold. As Lian looks for more grubs, and there is no hint of a contest from RA. A few players in the area, but realistically, nothing to be done about this one. Lian almost getting all three at the same time there, as he smites the last one, and the burn will finish the job. That is 6 grubs for Lian, and that is an early game masterclass from Lian on this brand. He's squeezing so much damage out from the pick. Got MVP in game number 2. He's just joined this roster, and he is looking to carry them into playoffs.
And the question is, how easy would NIP be able to adapt to a jungler that's so much different than what Aki was bringing into the team? And more of a facilitator, brawler kind of jungler for them. Now playing for the farmer, playing for Lian. And again, the whole story here benefits NIP so much because it's Photic that has been struggling a little bit with his positioning, the way he plays that bot lane towards summer, and now shifting more towards a jungle support mid-centric meta for NIP suits them so well. Lian might find yet another one down bot lane.
Okay, this time Vicla dodges the stun, just gonna take a bit of a hit, and now the answer from RA. Jwei and Xiaohao trying to start a fight. Is Zhuo blocking for his team. Solar Flare dodged by Lian. That'll be NIP disengaging the play. Assum trying to move over as engages come on through. Zhuo tanky, but the True Shot Barrage flies on in. Jwei the one to go down as Shanji sets up for a second as well. 2 straight off the bat, and NIP not slowing down anytime soon.
It's so difficult to make RA's composition stick. You've got double melee with Sejuani and Leona. Once they commit, they commit. They're into the fight. If Vicla cannot find an angle for a good ultimate or a good trade, he cannot join them. And Vicla did not want to take that chance right there. Jwei and Xiaohao too far forward, and NIP are going to be cashing out the first dragon of the game as well, taking that second one away from RA. Look at that, Zhuo again finds the opening, knows that Vicla cannot join the fight because Shanji insta-TPs into the face of the entire fight. And again, jungle support from RA, a little bit too far committed into that front line. Again, and TP was a little bit too late, and the fight had already ended. NIP super quick again on the map to capitalize onto these overextensions from RA.
Rookie waiting in the brush. Just gets a hill to pick, but doesn't overcommit for anything. Xiaohao tries to move top. RA know that they are bleeding out here. The 3k gold down almost. I guess 2.5. They need to find something.
There's 3 people up top again for RA.
I don't think Rookie's gonna fall for it. Okay, there we go. Rookie knows what's up. Uses his blue trinket, spots them both. You're not catching this man out, not today. Rookie and Lian both have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, Zhuo has had a really good series, and Shanji, obviously, I mean, his team fights speak for themselves. What an evolution from NIP today. It's just a week since they lost that best of 3 against LGD, and my God, do they look different.
I mean, it's a week since they kept losing to everyone in Group Ascent. LGD was just the last drop in the glass of so many losses that NIP were catching in Group Ascent. And again, we walked into the series not knowing which NIP we were going to see. That is a 0-7 NIP coming out of Group Ascent. They haven't been able to catch a break versus any of the big teams over in that group. However, coming here, we're like, hey, RA looked pretty strong in Group Nirvana. They could have very easily taken that first place had they beaten OMG in the last series. of that Rumble stage. Jwei now got a little bit too far forward.
Magnet Storm, but in goes Vicla to try and protect his team, but he just gets obliterated. Pyroclasm bouncing, Jwei will burn down. Assum trying to carry, but there's nothing to be carried here. They're just too damn heavy.
4,000 gold in the lead, 14 minutes in for NIP. Again, they're pulling RA across the reef. Now they have to run mid lane. They're taking this tower down. 6 Void Grubs, plus Tristana, plus double AD carry, plus the Rift Herald. The tower is long gone. Xiaoxu is looking for an angle, but there is no team around him for him to try and find an angle. RA, this is the scary part, right? In game number 1, they had some early game dominance. They had early game lanes that they could play through. In game number 3, they've played all for the wombo combos. They played through, they're looking to play through team fights. However, if you're already so far behind, that Gennett is just going to absolutely tickle everyone.
And it is mistakes like this that RA... Unfortunately, Jwei has just used everything trying to escape, and then Vicla goes in. Jwei shouldn't have been there in the first place. Vicla perhaps really overestimating what he could do in that fight, and then the combination of ultimates to finish Jwei off as well. NIP really just punishing missteps from RA. RA really not quite respecting the level of presence that NIP had up there, and it's turned it into a 5,000 gold lead for NIP in 15 minutes. We've gone from game number 1, which really could not have been closer the entire time, to 2 games in a row where NIP just soar ahead by the mid-game.
And they show how they can be carrying through different lanes as well. Leandra here is half of that gold lead. 2,500 gold is in his inventory. 304, 2 levels up onto Xiaohao, Sejuani, and sure, it's 2 completely different junglers with 2 completely different objectives on the map. One wants to start fights, wants to facilitate, much slower at clearing the jungle. The other one, a carry, clears fast, wants to play for skirmishes. However, NIP have been constantly finding ways to facilitate for their carries. Rookie in game number 2, Leon in game number 3, absolutely sacrificing that bot side of the map by gaining control towards the top side, getting those early kills onto Shanji, using Shanji as a weapon to then get Leon even more kills. NIP have been controlling the map beautifully and moving around it. Every single neutral objective but one has gone their way.
This is... We're sort of
That's a 4v4
for a fight, even though there's nothing on the top side of the map. Zhuo goes for a 2-man engage. Rookie jumped on as well, but Xiaoxu finds nothing with his ult. Lian actually flashes into enemy territory to survive. Photic goes down. It's traded for Jwei as Lian chased by Vicla and will be finished off. It's a big turnaround. Vicla has a moment to shine as Shanji tries to buy space and cuts him down instead. Assum knocked up, but it's the croc on top. Shanji finds his moment once more. These skirmishes have been phenomenal. A triple on the croc, and he wants a lightning rat on top. Xiaoxu getting underneath this tower, but Shanji, I don't think he's done just yet. The stun coming in, and a TP comes through from Rookie as well. Shanji sets up for a bonus. Xiaoxu will find one, but that's a tower as well.
That was almost a genius flank from Xiaohao. He sneaks himself in. They absolutely pinch NIP, and they just do not have the damage to capitalize. Shanji coming in clutch. He wasn't buying space. He was buying items through this team fight. Let's see again. Xiaohao on the right side. The TP is going to get pulled in by Vicla as well. Assum is all the way on the back line. Jumps throw into Leon. The trade comes through, and Photic is the one that falls first for NIP. Then Leon is on his way out, tries to get away. Vicla pins him down. It's like, great, that's a winning fight for RA, and especially when the double knockup comes through from Vicla, you're like, great, that's a win. Everyone forgot about Shanji, and Shanji was all the way into this backline. He didn't have to chase, he had full control, he was in melee range and absolutely demolished all the remaining members of RA. Well, including this lightning rat.
Yeah.
With Rookie's TP.
No. Speaking of which, Xiaoxu underneath out Lien.
What is happening?
Why is Lien there? I mean, I guess we're going to trade 1-for-1 here as Vicla looks more onto Zhuo. Does find the knock. Oh, the Mystic Shot won't finish the job. Xiaohao finishes the job, but it's 2-for-2 now as NIP start to siege on the bottom side. This became messy real quick as Rookie chases Assum away, but that'll be a tier 2 in the bottom side. I don't even know how that started.
That's another tower for NIP, 8,000 gold in the lead right here, and RA are trying to make them go scrappy. They're trying to find picks, they're flashing under towers, they're trying to get a pick going. Now Jwei, oh, he's gonna walk onto Vision, and they do have Shanji and Rookie around. You're walking into not your territory, buddy.
He's kind of tanky, but I don't think he's tanky enough for both solo laners here, although does manage to get away with his life. So, survives.
Summer Strain.
Will have to walk away here. This is a reset now for NIP. Okay. 6 scrubs, 4 towers, a massive gold lead. Let's take another look at what happened here. So Xiaoxu found himself a flank.
Oh, Photic walks into the brass as well. They do put a lot of damage down. So until Photic goes down, he manages to put down the pain onto Xiaoxu. Xiaoxu survives forever right there. Zhuo and Lian have to wrap around, which means that they're in immediate danger as well. They'll end up falling pretty soon, but without taking Xiaohao with them. And honestly, that's a pretty favorable trade for the side of RA. They have been starving so far, so being able to trade 2 kills, grab a few shutdowns onto their carries is more than they can ask for at this point. I mean, NIP are definitely looking towards the Baron. They've got the gold, they've got the monies, they've got the items, and now they're looking to slap RA across the face with them.
And I think it's worth remembering, we're only 20 minutes into this game. This feels a bit later with how action-packed this mid-game has been, and how 5v5 focused it has been as well. Bomb goes in from Rookie as the solar flare lands onto Lien, but Jwei once again has to be the one to face check, and unfortunately, it turns into a face plant instead.
And it's a Baron angle right here for NIP, 4 versus 5. There's no flash onto Ken, and there's no flash onto Xiaohao. How are you ever going to get anywhere near that pit? They're gonna pull their TP, but this is probably their last chance for a fight.
Xiaohao's gonna try and move in. Baron will be taken here. Shanji jumps into the mix as well to try and buy space for his team. He'll walk away with his life. NIP considering a fight here, but Vicla dives onto the back line. He finds Lien. It's Zhuo down as well as Rookie flashes onto Vicla. The bomb's not enough to finish the kill though. Now over the wall as Jwei trying to chase Xiaohao, flashing onto Rookie, sets up with a stun, and Vicla and Assum there to finish the job. Finally something for RA.
NIP take the dragon, overstep, RA capitalize on 3 kills right there. Only 2 Baron buffs remaining on the side of NIP. And again, a reminder, if this goes late game, Yone, Kennen, Ezreal, they become real threats. Reminder that Renekton falls off. This is an Eclipse Strikebreaker. Renekton, he's not going to be as tanky as the one with Sterix and Blackleaf. And let's watch this one more time. Shanji tries to create some space for his team. He's a pretty tanky Renekton for the time being, but an absolutely fantastic Q3 into R from Vicla. Catches Lian and Photic. Photic has to commit his flash as well. Rookie tries to commit on the other side to get a pick back, and he plays that pretty well, but now he's 1v4 into enemy territory, and he's going to lose his Baron buff for that as well.
Vicla will not go down without a fight. Now getting damage onto Zhuo as well. Remember, this guy came over from the LCK in 2023. He was on KT, you know, went over to FlyQuest for a little bit, and now on RA. People wondered what we were going to see from him, and I feel like this year has been his best in the LPL. I don't think there's much arguing about that one. I think this split, has been his best in LPL. Better than his spring. But is it going to be enough? Can he carry this team over the line? Xiaoxu caught in the top side, and that slicing Maelstrom on cooldown as Drake comes up. That's surely sole point for NIP.
Now, the saving grace for our Ray right here is that the 3,000 gold is onto this Renekton. Again, this Renekton will start falling off slowly but surely. They're going to have a lot of catching up to do until that Shanji monster that he's created falls off 6-1 and 3,000 gold up, 3 items already completed. However, the only other member with a pretty significant gold lead from the time of NIP, they're looking at Shanji.
Shanji's caught, has to flash here. No Dominus, remember. Solar Flare doesn't quite land, but Assum's just doing this all by himself. He doesn't need a supporting cast. Finds the kill all alone. It's in trade for the Drake, still sold point for NIP, but again, Assum getting gold. And look at that, at the bottom of the screen, there is finally a blue arrow on the scoreboard.
Zhuo walking too far forward, might get caught here. There's 3 members of RA. Whew, the Hex flash through. And again, that was a plus 300 gold bounty on top of Shanji. We said what a monster he was. Now they're looking for Rookie.
Vicla trying to hunt, but won't find him. Rookie.
Oh my god.
Done such a good job of playing safe this game. Like, his positioning, immaculate. Getting close to that 3rd item for himself on Tristana once again. We're looking at Vicla in these fights though, and Vicla has found Zhuo once again. Zhuo just way overstaying for a bit of vision, but will get away with his life with Rookie's presence in the mid lane. Difficult to chase.
Yeah, he ults Vicla backwards as well to save Zhuo. And I feel like this game is anything but over here, Munch. This Yone is catching up, almost on that 3rd item as well. Vicla has been farming a storm, 233 CS, 25 minutes in. You see that the majority of the gold lead is onto the Renekton, and the only reason why I'm not mentioning the brand right here is because Leon is a very immobile carry. Lots of damage, but a sitting duck in most of these teamfights. And Vicla has done an incredible job at finding him in every single one of those fights. So close to that 3rd item for the Yone as well. I feel like one more team fight for RA, and you sort of like free yourself in terms of how you want to play the team fights. You go 5-2-4 Ezreal, almost on the 3rd item. Once the 3rd items get completed, I feel RA will feel much more confident to step up forward, look for a Sejuani pick together with a Leona to try and capitalize on anyone overextending from NIP. And they've got the scaling in terms of damage late game to do that.
Xiaoxu's not going anywhere either. This Kennen, one big ult. Once you get to those 3 or 4 items, really can just change the game. The way Vicla's been playing, NIP cannot count their chickens just yet. Rookie moving down to the bottom side here. Firing up in 70 seconds time. And you can see that vision control that we saw in game number 2 on that top side of the map, once again set up for NIP.
It's so scary for RA to walk into their own jungle, especially towards the bot side of the map. You see Rookie pressure and you're expecting that NIP has set down some vision. It's not going to be the case. They're mostly going to be establishing a lot of control towards the top side. You mentioned the Baron as well. 45 seconds now for the Purple Wolf to spawn. And RA, they're going to use Vicla towards that bot side. They're trying to feed him as much gold as possible to finish that 3rd item onto the Yone. An Infinity Edge right here would be absolutely huge for the fights to come. If even RA might be looking to even not contest the next Baron, to try and get those spikes in and fight NIP when they have the pressure to push with their Baron buff.
Players moving up towards the top side now. RA, I think, aware that NIP were trying to pressure here, but with Rookie in tow and 6 grubs, that tower is not long for the world. Nice bit of play out from NIP, trading a tier 1 on the bottom side for a tier 2 on the top side. Definitely favors NIP, especially when they've got complete and utter vision dominance in the top side of the map. Zhuo just going to play bodyguard, going to try and keep people out for the time being, while Baron has already started by the rest of NIP. Xiaohao trying to move in, but everybody just turns towards the RA jungler. Keep your eyes on Vicla. He has to carry as Assum. Dives on forwards, Photic survives as Shanji buys space as well, but Vicla finds one. The rest of the fight's already lost though. Vicla gets a knock up on Rookie, but he's 1v4 against the world. And the world comes out on top. Another triple for Shanji. Wave cut in the mid lane, but TP's to the top side for NIP.
The world was on top of Shanji, and Shanji's 4,500 gold up on the entire world. His Renekton was absolutely massive this game, and NIP, so many questions coming into this best of series. 0-7, haven't beaten a single good team in that group Ascend. Now coming into RA, that looked pretty crisp in that group Nirvana, taking them down as a 3-0. That is a statement walking into playoffs.
This is something else. I'm not sure I've ever seen a team level up for playoffs in the way that NIP have today. Seems like Leanne was the difference maker.
Look at Shanji. Oh, he blocks. Vicla cannot quite sidestep Shanji right there. His ultimate gets blocked by the Crocodile. Doesn't find the access in the backline. Has to even a flash to get that kill onto Photic, but Photic is not the main carry here. The victories that RA have been able to find were through killing Lian.
Okay.
Let's see if they can do it. There is flash onto Xiaoxu. He might look for a big ult here.
Desperation play from RA. They start to Baron themselves as Xiaoxu looks for a flank, but Shanji just denies him. Slice of Maelstrom already used just onto one target. Xiaoxu has to flash away. Rookie survives as Zhuo looks to engage. Pyroclasm does big damage, and there's the flash from Shanji to finish off Xiaoxu. 2 for the Croc again, and Xiaohao sent away. Vicla tries to carry again, but there's nothing to be done. The game is decided. The series is decided. Assum wants something, but we can assume a victory now for NIP. 3-0 domination today from NIP, proving they deserve to be in playoffs.
LPL, Renekton, Shanji making it come back to life, and a clean 3-0 from NIP.
An absolute massacre today from NIP. RA sent over to next year now. That is the last game they'll play as NIP take themselves that victory. And the rookie playoff stream begins now. Can some kind of miracle happen? Lien has been on the receiving end of miracles before in that WE run. Back when Lien was on RA. Now Lien knocks out RA to try and start his own miracle run.
And I feel like for NIP, this series wasn't only an ego boost, since they've only been losing so far, but they restart going into playoffs. Restart, forget everything that's happened before, focus on what's going good right now. I feel like Lian has been a great breath of fresh air in terms of adding an extra carry to the team. I feel like always the question with NIP has not been, are the players good enough? Yes, they're absolutely marvelous in every single role. They're great. We've seen